They soak the janitor in water for laughs. Then she becomes their new boss. The bucket hit the floor with a hollow clang, water splashing across the linoleum like a cruel wave. Laughter erupted, sharp and vicious, as Maria Alvarez stood drenched, her gray janitor's uniform heavy with cold water, her dignity clinging by a thread. She was 47, a single mother who'd scrubbed these halls for a decade, invisible to the students of Westview High until today, when she became their target. The group of seniors, led by Connor, the football star with a smirk as polished as his Letterman jacket, had planned the prank for weeks, their laughter now echoing off the lockers like a taunt. Maria's dark eyes locked onto Connor's, her silence louder than their jeers. She'd seen his kind before, privileged, untouchable, wielding cruelty as casually as a pen. Her Mexican heritage, her accent, her job, they were ammunition for kids who'd never known hunger or sacrifice. But Maria knew something they didn't. Resilience forged in struggle is a weapon of its own. She didn't cry. She didn't run. Instead, she picked up her mop, the handle slick under her trembling fingers, and began cleaning the mess they'd made. The students dispersed, their laughter fading, but Connor lingered, tossing a final jab. "Stay in your lane, janitor." Maria's jaw tightened, but she said nothing. Words were cheap. Action was her currency. That night, alone in her small apartment, Maria sat at her kitchen table, a single bulb casting shadows over her worn textbooks. For years, she'd studied in secret, balancing night classes with her job, chasing a degree in education. She wasn't just a janitor, she was a woman with a dream, a mother determined to show her daughter, Sophia, that no one could define your worth. The prank had stung, but it also lit a fire. Maria wasn't done yet. Weeks later, Westview High's principal retired abruptly, and the school board scrambled for a replacement. Maria applied, her resume a quiet testament to her grit. A freshly earned degree, years of volunteering as a tutor, and an intimate knowledge of the school's pulse. The board, desperate for stability and impressed by her passion, took a chance. Maria Alvarez, the janitor, became Principal Alvarez overnight. The news hit the school like a shockwave. Connor and his crew scoffed, assuming it was a joke. But when Maria walked into the assembly hall on her first day, her head held high, the room fell silent. She wore a tailored blazer, her hair neatly pulled back, but her eyes carried the same fire that had burned through her humiliation. She didn't address the prank directly, she didn't need to. Her presence was enough. Maria's first act as principal was to overhaul the school's culture. She introduced mandatory workshops on empathy and diversity, drawing from her own experiences. She shared stories of her childhood, crossing the border with her parents, working odd jobs to survive, and the sting of being less than in others' eyes. Her vulnerability disarmed the students, even Connor, whose smirk faltered when she spoke of the pain of being mocked for who you are. But Maria didn't stop at words. She implemented restorative justice programs, forcing students to confront the consequences of their actions. Connor, caught defacing a locker, was assigned to clean the school alongside the custodial staff for a month. At first, he sneered, but scrubbing floors under Maria's watchful eye humbled him. He began to see the work the people he'd once dismissed. One evening, as they mopped side by side, he muttered, "I'm sorry for before." Maria nodded, her face unreadable. "Prove it," she said. Slowly, the school changed. Maria's leadership wasn't about punishment, but transformation. She mentored students like Sophia, her daughter, who'd once been ashamed of her mother's job, but now walked taller, proud of her legacy. Maria created scholarships for low-income students, ensuring no one felt trapped by circumstance. She invited community leaders, many of Colorado speak, showing the students a world beyond their bubble. Connor, too, evolved. Working with the janitors, he learned their names, their stories. He saw Maria not as a target, but as a force, someone who'd turned cruelty into a catalyst. By graduation, he approached her, no longer the cocky kid, but a young man searching for redemption. "I was wrong," he said, voice low. "You're the real deal." Maria smiled faintly. "We all get a chance to be better, Connor." Don't waste yours. Years later, Maria's story became legend at Westview. The janitor who'd been soaked for laughs had soaked the school in something else: humanity. She'd shown that power isn't in a title or a prunk, it's in rising above, in turning pain into purpose. As she stood in her office, watching students stream across the campus she now led, Maria knew she'd done more than clean floors. She'd cleaned house, rebuilding a community on respect, one heart at a time. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.